Hi everybody. This is the second video for September. Again, we are talking about Catholic social teaching. We are especially talking this month of September about the call to family, community, and participation. And I want everybody to just kind of think for a few minutes about what family, community, and participation really mean to them. So if you need to pause the video right now to do that, that's fine. And I want you to think about the mental image you get or the names that pop into your head when you think about your family. Your family can be your immediate family members, your parents, your grandparents, aunts, uncles, cousins. Your family can be more distant relatives. Maybe they are relatives that live far away. Maybe they're relatives you don't see very often that you still consider part of your family. And then there's people who aren't necessarily related to you by blood, but they are still people that are like family. Maybe it's a neighbor or a mom, or your mom's best friend, or your best friend, or your best friend's parents. Maybe it's your teacher. Maybe it's your school counselor. If you're in an after-school activity, like a sport, cheerleading, things like that, dance, maybe it's your coach. So all of these people can be a part of your family. Then we also have your community, and community has different sizes. Your community can be as small as your street, like maybe all of the neighbors really get along and look out for each other. Maybe everybody has kids that are kind of the same age, that you all play together, you all hang out together, and that can be a community. Your neighborhood, if you live in like a specific suburb, that can be a community. Your community can be the town that you live in, Hamburg, Orchard Park. It can be your school district, Frontier, or Springville Griffith, or East Aurora, West Seneca. It can be the city itself. If you travel outside of New York State and someone says, "Where are you from?" you probably say Buffalo instead of like Hamburg or Orchard Park, because people might not know where those are, but they know where Buffalo is. And maybe you've been able to go some places in the city and you kind of have an idea of what our city has in it, the museums and the skating rinks and places to go. And that is a community. And participation is just what it sounds like. It's doing your part, it's being involved. It is finding a way to affect change in a positive way and to do things with the people. So you can participate in a couple of different ways. You can participate by attending something. So that would mean like eating dinner with your family, or going out to the movies with them, or going for a walk with them. It could mean doing something that's in your community, so going to a school dance, going to a Boy Scouts or Girl Scouts meeting, going to a dance class, going to a parade or watch fireworks, different things like that. But you can also participate by doing some work yourself. So the first one is kind of like strength in numbers, where you're participating to add to the crowd and add to the people that are moving around in the community. And the second one, you are somebody who can actually impact if the community is successful or not. So like at home, if you do your chores, your parents are happy, you guys have a better relationship of trust and respect, and your home is a little bit cleaner and your room is a little bit cleaner and everybody benefits. But if you don't do those things, then that can damage your relationship. It can cause mistrust. It means that your physical environment, your room, your house, might not be as clean or as organized as it would be otherwise. It's the same thing in the community. If you are somebody who makes sure you throw out your trash in a trash can, if you take your pet for a walk, you pick up after them if they go to the bathroom. If you're a person who really tries to take care of their community, then that is building your community up and making it stronger and making it better. But if you're somebody who doesn't do those things, somebody who litters, somebody who just leaves garbage around or things like that, you can actually bring your community down. You can harm your community by causing pollution. You can bring your community down by hurting how it looks, like people that do graffiti on things and just kind of try to make really pretty things look ugly. And all of that can have an impact on your community. And the reason that it's important to talk about this is because every human life is sacred and deserving of respect. So every person was created by God. This does not mean that we have to be best friends with somebody who doesn't like us. This does not mean that if somebody makes us uncomfortable, we have to hang out with them and be around them anyway. This just means that we have to be as kind as possible to the people that we come into contact and meet. People are also very social. So in Genesis, the first book of the Bible, God made Adam. There were all of these animals already, plants, all this food to eat. And God looked around, and even though Adam had all of these like animal companions, he said to himself, it is not good for man to be alone. So God knew right away when he created Adam, he said, this creature needs other creatures like it. This human needs other humans. And he made Eve so that Adam would have a wife, so he would have a family, so he would have a companion, so he would have a community. And we thrive, we do better when our family and our community are doing better. But we have a responsibility to be part of that. We can't just sit back and expect that everyone else will do the work of making our family better, making our community better. We have to actively look for ways that we can get ourselves involved. So there is a story that is in the packets that you have at home. It's about a woman called Louisma. And basically, Louisma is a volunteer with Catholic Relief Services, which is an organization that helps out in places where people are in need. So Louisma is helping out in her country of Haiti, which is just a little bit south of Cuba, which is south of Florida. And Haiti is the most poor country in the world right now. People live on about $2 a day, so they have about $60 a month to cover all of their bills and expenses, their food, their gas, which most people don't have cars because they can't afford it. But their food, their home, any type of water, electricity, any type of bill that they would have, they have to pay off of like $2 a day. The last time I filled my gas tank in my car, it was more than $60. So filling my gas tank in my car cost more money than what these people have to live off of for a month. So very, very poor. So Louisma and Catholic Relief Services are working together to take care of a couple of major problems in Haiti. The first one is a lack of doctors and hospitals and the lack of transportation to get to those places. So they've set up these community health clinics, which are like small doctor's offices, where people can go for basic checkups and things like that, and to determine if they need to see a doctor or a hospital, or they can get basic medication and stuff there. There's also what they call a rally post, and it's a place for mothers to bring their babies for checkups, and they can also get their vaccines there so that they don't get sick. And if they get to a health center or a rally post and the helpers like Louisma determine that they need a hospital visit because they're very, very sick, they will help make sure that that person gets there, because that person probably doesn't have a car, might be too sick to ride a bike or get on a bus. So they will make sure that they get there, and then they'll check on them once they come home from the hospital. Catholic Relief Services also started a mother's club to try to combat malnutrition. So they started swapping recipes that have a lot of fruits and vegetables in them and whole grains. They planted a community garden that everybody participates in taking care of, and everybody has access to the fruits and vegetables that grow in that garden to use for free. And then They also are coming together to just kind of check on each other's wellness and well-being, especially after having a new baby. And this has made a huge difference in the nutrition that kids are getting, and it's made them much healthier, and it's also increased the number of people who are making it to doctors and hospitals when they need to. It's decreased the amount of people who are getting very, very sick or who are dying because they didn't get basic medical care early enough. And we have a responsibility to look for ways that we can do small things or big things like this in our communities, because we are all one family, we are all God's family, and we are all called to look out for each other. We are called to participate in our families and communities in a positive way.